So hi everyone, I'm Dedy. I'm the Chief Product Officer of CodiumAI. I'm really excited to demo this. I think the idea is to really have you guys try out and use it as much as you can over the next couple of days, today during the workshop and during the actual hackathon. Would love to get feedback. So that will be awesome. Hopefully it will be valuable also for you guys. So you can find it by just searching the marketplace on VS Code. We launched it 2 months ago. We have now 35K downloads on VS Code. We also have another 15K in the JetBrains marketplace and a few thousand of active users, weekly active users. So I'll show here an example. So I have here a Python implementation of a bank account. So it's a class that implements a bank account, and above it I have this little link to run CodiumAI on it. So I click on that, and then Codium opens up inside the IDE. The first thing that I get is the code analysis section that shows a textual spec of the code, and then I'm starting to get tests in this tab. So it basically tries to cover lots of different cases, so happy path, edge cases, all kinds of cases. I can interact with it, I can suggest changes, essentially kind of chat with it. I can also run the tests. So I'm going to click here on that. Actually, I'm going to redo this because I want to demonstrate something. So we'll just do this again. Bear with me. So yeah, code analysis again, that's just a textual description, and then tests starting to stream from some reason. Okay, so some tests you can see pass and some fail. On a fail test, I can hit the fix test button, and I'll do that for a couple of different tests. And what happens when I do that, the model is actually trying to figure out where is the issue. So it could be in the code or in the test. And if it was a problem in the test, it will just fix the test right away. And it will show me what was fixed in the test. And if it was in the code, it will tell me that there is a possible bug in the code. So let's look at that. It actually tells me what is the issue. So it looks like in the deposit method, I put a minus here instead of a plus. So it's actually deducting the amount instead of adding to it. So in the same way that I did before, now I can actually try to fix the code. So I'm just going to hit fix code. And it's going to prepare a code fix for that. And I can review that. Pretty straightforward in this case. And apply it to my code. And after I do that, I can basically rerun the tests and then see that the test actually that test actually passed. I think it was this one. Yeah. So that was like just like a very simple typical use case. But now let's do something a bit more complex. A new cool capability that we just added is the ability to take into account the git diff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some code in here. And I'm going to do add a new method like this, can withdraw, and I'm going to change the commission rate. So I save this. And now I can turn on this focus on code changes, this toggle. I'll turn it on. And let's regenerate the tests. So the idea here is to really help with the flow of the development. So as we make changes, sometimes we want to test and we want to focus on those changes. So in the code analysis section, I already see the git diff section. It actually tells me what actually happened. So I added the new method, changed the commission rate. And now all the tests that I get are going to be focused on that. And for each test, I can see how is it related to the diff. So this one will actually checks that this can withdraw method works appropriately in the kind of happy path case. And then it checks that it returns false if I try to withdraw more amount than I have in the balance, and so on and so forth. And then this one's just checking the commission. And of course, I can run this test and see that they're actually passing. Finally, what I can do is I can open the test in a file, so I can then save this file and use it in my repository. One last thing that I want to show before I open up for questions, there's a code suggestions section that basically gives general suggestions for improvement. So this can be performance related, modularity, best practices, all kinds of suggestions that you can just kind of choose and apply to your code. And this is it. So love to hear if there are any questions.
It could be any question also about the previous section or whatever.
That demo was really, really cool. That's really impressive. I guess I'd be kind of curious, are you guys running all of this with GPT-4 then? And
yeah, so we use a combination of GPT 3.5 and GPT-4. Depends on the use case that we're trying to solve. We will use different models. So for example, to create the suggestions, we actually have to use GPT-4 because otherwise it's not going to create good enough suggestions. But then to actually generate the code, we will use GPT 3.5. Mostly the trade-off is latency, right? If you use GPT-4 for everything, it's just going to take forever.